What's with the pseudonym? Why are we doing this? What is the pseudonymous economy? I've heard Balaji talk about it a whole heck of a lot. He is a very popular or well-known social media / venture capitalist who's out there really laying the groundwork for this type of work and or just sort of these concepts. And you're living it, man, because you're an actual startup founder. You're a guy that knows what he's doing, but uses a pseudonym online and gets business done that way. So what's your take on that? Is this longevity? Is this the future? How's it working out for you? Let's go.
Yeah. So, why would anyone do this? Why would anyone, deal in the real world with the name that isn't theirs? The thing is, people have kind of always done this. I went to a high school in a pretty small town, and if you've done something like that, you have the experience where you go grocery shopping and you see a teacher outside of the classroom, buying milk or whatever, and it's like, whoa, what are you doing here? This is very odd. And it's one of those things that if you're like 14, 15, 16, it doesn't occur to you that your teachers, these authority figures that you have in school, they're just people too, right? You call them Mr., you call them Mrs. or whatever, right? But they don't go around. They're not Mrs. B, English teacher to everyone else in their life. There's actually a separation of concerns between, being the English teacher or being, just, someone's daughter, someone's mother, or whatever. And we use different names for that, right? Dr. So-and-so is just like Bill to his friends or something. And one of the weird things that happened, I think, with the rise of an industrialized economy, the rise of, so-called knowledge economy, is that these lines became very blurred. There's a wonderful scene in Falling Down, great movie with Michael Douglas, where he goes into some burger joint and he's just dealing with this highly bureaucratic service, needlessly bureaucratic service. It's a burger place, and he notices, oh my God, I'm calling you Jack, I'm calling you John. It's like I'm calling you by your first names as though we're friends. Like, what the fuck is this? And this kind of weird, you live at work, you work where you live, you're buddies with your employer, like. All of this stuff is just kind of an impingement on normal human relationships. And as weird and strange and like odd as it is to see someone with like, so-and-so .eth in a Twitter handle, and this guy is pseudonymous and he doesn't show his face to you when you're working with him or whatever, that's actually kind of a more sensible working arrangement, because it means your private life is your own private life. Your own social circles are your own social circles. And your relationship with your employer, whatever relationship you have with the public through your employer, that's kind of its own thing at that point. You get to put your life into two different things, and you don't have to invite everyone else into one place or another. So while it does look very new and odd and futuristic, I think it'll actually give us a return, return with a V and all that, in some way to kind of a more normal human way to function. So that's one reason to do it. The other reason, obviously, if you're in sort of these spaces, let's call them dissident spaces, call them, whatever you want. There's obviously this whole thing of cancellation, cancel culture this, cancel culture that. Antifa is going to come and dox you. You can just avoid all of these problems through a pseudonymous economy. Once the employer, once the employee, they're mutually pseudonymous. You can't get this weird tattletale hall monitor dynamic where everyone has to have the right opinions, or we just destroy your economic viability forever. That just stops being a thing.
Yeah. Well,
and the third.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You got one more. Go for it.
Yeah, sure. The third thing is it kind of gives us a chance to move away from old systems of credentialing to newer, better systems of credentialing that are not really controlled by these sort of ossified, shitty institutions. So, for a very long time, if someone had a bachelor's degree from Harvard or whatever, okay, well, that means that person has their shit together. They can execute on a lot. They're very, very smart. You should hire this person. You should, admit this person to your graduate studies program. Now, if I see someone who has a degree from, certain institutions after a certain year, Uh, it's like this person has pronouns. I'm gonna have to learn their pronouns. They might not be that smart, but they can sure get me in trouble. I feel very differently about these credentials now, and so pseudonymity and kind of taking things away from these identity granting institutions, whether they're the institutions that give you passports or degrees or job titles. This is an opportunity to get back to what really matters in terms of like productivity, doership, accountability, things like that.
Indeed. Interesting thought came to mind when you were sharing about this. Is I have a friend. His name is Michael Gimmerin, and he is a really futuristic thinker in these regards. And he's been foundational in helping me put together the Liminal Order and thinking about the future of information and the future of privacy. And he would argue, I think, that by going pseudonymous, you actually are creating a vulnerability for yourself in the future. Whereas people will have incentive to possibly attempt to dox you, or attack you, or dig in, or figure out some dirt on you, or whatever, as a way to come at you, because you're obviously putting up a barrier between your private life and your personal life. But I think he would argue, and in some ways I've taken this approach, whether consciously, accidentally, proactively, or by happenstance, it just is what it is. Total information liberation, 100% transparency, 100% on the table, full disclosure. If everybody knows, then everybody knows, and it's not a thing to know at that point. And I've sort of lived my life online this way. In it's messed up because I started off with the pseudonym Jack Murphy, and I didn't use a picture, and nobody knew who I was. And so I operated in a very liberal way, meaning like I just shared whatever I wanted and talked about
Yeah,
whatever I
yeah,
wanted and revealed whatever I wanted, but not in specifics, but in generalities, you know? And then that body was out there, and then I got doxxed. And then boom, it all comes together, and now people, are judging me by things that I shared when I was anonymous, and are sort of true and half true and all true. But now the story and
yeah.
mythology of the pseudonymous thing is now tied to my personal life. So what do you think about that? About information liberation, total transparency, 100% disclosure, in the expectation that one day all information is going to be liberated.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it kind of depends on your reason for doing this, right? So, every person, well, not every person. Some people are homeless. Some people, have multiple addresses. Every person has an address, right? Imagine if, every single time you wanted to talk to someone else, whether through any medium, even just speaking to them, they would know precisely your home address. Anyone, just like the valet collecting your car, the person checking you into a hotel, a guy that you're ordering a burger from, someone you say hello to on the street. Every single person gets your physical address, where you go to sleep at night. I think most people would feel rightfully uncomfortable with that. If there was some layer of technology put over the world, through AR and VR, to kind of, super augment human speech, where it's like, okay, look, you just even talk to someone, you both know where each other lives. I think everyone would be like, this is bad. We don't want this. On the other hand, you can imagine a situation where, let's say you have two people who are members of like a uniformed service meeting in a skiff, and once they start talking to one another, they can each see what the other person's level of clearance is, and there's no way to fake it. And every single person physically in the room knows that every other person physically in the room is trustworthy and is checked out, and they know, the actual chain of custody of their authorization. That would actually be really great. And there are firms building exactly that kind of thing, for both in person and cybersecurity. So I think the reasons for pseudonymity and the level of barrier you want to have between, quote, a fake and quote, a real identity, can be, there are varying levels of justification. I think there are bad justifications. I think there are very good justifications. But I do believe that as people start choosing these things, the idea of a real or a fake identity will go away, and it'll be more like, who am I dealing with in this context in this moment? And it'll be kind of a reclamation of sort of like appropriate social roles rather than, just, it's, if your teacher goes on maternity leave, you obviously know that she's married and she's a mom and she has a kid and like all of this stuff. Um, Maybe you don't obviously know she's married. It's
Yeah.
2021, but but like it's not part of your dealings with her as a teacher or something, right? And this is like, very, and the reason I invoke like the schoolhouse example is because this is something that we kind of intuit as necessary, in an institution that was invented to actually take children out of the home and put them into this kind of, industrial preparatory environment where they're supposed to be learning how to deal with, superiors and things like that. Um, so I think actually, it'll be less about real versus fake and, concealment versus transparency, and it'll be more about like, what is the actual context I'm dealing with this other person in? Because if it's, if something's just out of scope, it's like, whatever.
Right.
Then we just don't transact in that way.
Right. I can appreciate having multiple elements to your life, right? You have your work life, your personal life, you have your friend life, you have, for guys in the LO, you've got your fraternal life, you've got your life at the church, you've got your life all over the place, and people code switch. I know some politicians get a lot of crap for that, but code switching is a legitimate thing that you do, appropriate to context. You use the vernacular that makes sense. And I can see a similar argument to be made for code switching your persona into appropriate places at the appropriate time. And, frankly, if you work for a corporation and you're in an office environment with people that aren't your friends, there's really no need for you to get to be to reveal all that to them. And
Exactly.
I like the idea of your reputation and your experience and your success as being the driving force as to why people are going to interact with you.